Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall today, I do want to address and talk about a few things. Obviously, we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin drop. We're going to be talking about, my specific reasonings behind it, and then we're going to kind of move on to, talking about some, charts I've seen on Twitter and talking about, the altcoin market and all that kind of stuff. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first off, let's talk about this. So the fear and greed index sitting at, 24 extreme fear. We get an update in about an hour and 47 minutes. I wonder where this is actually going to be. I think that we could come back up within the center here and kind of be between extreme fear and kind of, just fear. Of course, it could be a little bit lower. We have to watch this closely, but, we still are in extreme fear. And the funny thing is that, everyone was a little panicky. I mean, I remember last night I was looking through, Twitter and stuff. Everybody was saying this is it. Bear market's collapsing. They were calling for 26K. Everyone was like panicking. And, we did come down and test it pretty low. I mean, it was about like 38.8K roughly. I actually have the chart open over here on the monthly. And the reason why I have it on the monthly is I want to ask everyone who is watching this right now, what does this chart look like to you? Would you say that this chart looks bullish or bearish? And I do want to hear from all of you. So comment down in the comments down below, bullish or bearish. So let's actually address this chart. So first off, I do want to talk to you guys about the current view on the monthly candle. All right, so now this candle is on the monthly pretty bearish. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it is. But look at the bottoming stage. We have been building a strong bottom for about 4 months now. We've had higher lows since going back to the monthly candle of January. And since then, we have bounced off of that 236 almost perfectly in terms of support. Hence the bottom of those candle figures, right? Not the wicks, but the candle figures themselves have bottomed at that 236. Pretty significant. Now, obviously, we're kind of tightened here on the chart. Between this resistance up here at about roughly 48 point almost 4K, and between that support zone at about the 236. Now, as we are watching this closely, I also mind you on the weekly, this still looks very, very bullish. Again, you guys can kind of see this. Our major support being on that weekly candle from the 11th. All right, I know that this is still a new candle. It's newly, minted. But look at the support going all the way back to September in terms of where we kind of rested on the top of this bar, about 39.6K. Pay attention to the fundamentals here on the charts. They are putting us a little bit of a better picture on where we currently are in terms of technical analysis. RSI on the weekly is still holding, as you guys do see on the moving average, pretty strong. Now, of course, I've seen a lot of people kind of calling for that 26.7K target on the EMA, on the 200-day EMA, that blue line down there. In my opinion, we don't see that. We don't see that for a very long time. Now, as we are watching Bitcoin, I've seen a few other people kind of mention what they are watching for. First off, Bitcoin Fuel. So here we have Bitcoin is holding support like a boss. And here we have it, right? We go back to, January, and look at this overall scale here. It's been holding very, very strong with those slight wicks down, similar to the other wicks. We've seen these strong wicks before. Even going back to the summertime, we've seen major wicks. Why are these wicks here? Well, it's to shake the weak hands out. It's liquidity hunting, essentially, for whales. You kind of, scare the retail individuals to selling, and you buy the dip. It's as simple as it can be. And we also see here, Bitcoin, when you plant a seed, have patience. Again, you guys can see this, right? Here's that, going back to almost 2017, even throughout 2018, where we had those 3 bottom figures. We are at that 3 bottom figure now. We are waiting for the next major move on Bitcoin. And honestly, if we're talking about this, it could be that major upward swing. A lot of other individuals have been kind of doing, sort of a micro view on the short term. Shout out to JT on Twitter. Incredible individual in terms of economics. We do see your Bitcoin midday update. Perhaps it's been noted by other technicians, but it's certainly not lost on me. The wick low tested to precision, the top of our formal bull pin hammer candle. Sorry. P.S. Sorry, I'm a bit slower today. Work has, me covered up. Now, here we have it. So, again, we have that retest of former, bullpen hammer. It's a perfect retest. Honestly, it's a perfect retest of major support too. And the weekly really shows you that. Also, the monthly shows you that, and even the daily, right? I've addressed the daily multiple times too. It's a perfect candle wick. It's honestly a liquidity hunt. And right now, we are about to see a crossing point on the moving average. And I've told you guys, the last time that we've seen these in terms of an upward swing was going back to January, where we had that nice move to roughly 46K. If we could get that same price movement from this liquidity hunt candle. Now, I'm not saying that the bottom's fully in, because I do believe that we could come down to 38K. I think that would be something pretty interesting to watch for. It would be similar to what we see here, where we have, this slight candle wick. So it would be something almost like this. But this would bring us to that 50K plus target, where we kind of just play this out a little bit. Now, obviously, it's going to take us to around the May timeframe to see this happen. But if this happens sooner, that's going to be even better as well. So I am watching this very, very closely. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here. It also could be the fact that we have already seen this low being put in. This could technically be that candle wick that we've seen, where we do go to, 50K plus very, very soon by around May 5th. So I'm watching this, chart very closely for Bitcoin, as we do kind of see those major moves, down, and also major moves up. These wicks that we see are still not breaking the overall support that has been building out for a while, going back to September. And I'm not going to, say that we're in a bearish market until we do break those fundamental support levels. Now, also, the total too. Do you guys see how bullish things look in terms of even alts? Look at this overall chart. Again, in between that 618 resistance zone and the 382 support. We've tested this support now twice. The funny thing is that this is also support going back to September. Again, September is the key month to watch for, because what followed after here was a nice run to $1.7 trillion, almost $2 trillion for the entire altcoin market. Also, on the weekly, check out the weekly for the altcoin market. Very, very bullish. Still retesting that support zone. Still holding the 50-day EMA. We've been holding the 50-day EMA since going back to March 21st in terms of the weekly candle, which is pretty good. And we're having that little bit of a bounce off of the moving average on the RSI yet again. So I'm watching this chart very closely, as we do possibly see a retest of that 618. That's going to be a significant, retest, by the way. On the daily span, we also still see that bullish pattern being printed. Of course, we are seeing some resistance being met here at those EMAs. We need a clear break above those. So I would say a break above 1.15 trillion would be crucial for the altcoin market. But as you guys do see, the RSI moving up in terms of that moving average, that is something significant to watch for. Again, the last time that we've crossed these points, going back to March, going back to even, January, we've seen the major spikes throughout this time frame. Watch this closely. Now, I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 started its nice reversal today. So let me open this real quick. Off of the lows that it did print in earlier, this is basically when Bitcoin also started to kind of spike down a little bit. So I have been watching this fib level to kind of hold. Looks like support at the 382 could possibly hold strong. I'm going to be watching tomorrow closely to see if we have that nice impulse up, or if we do test that 236. That 236, if we do retest it, it's going to get fairly bearish. So I'm going to be watching the S&P 500 a little bit more tomorrow. Obviously, these are closed out right now. But you do see that the S&P 500 is showing some strength here. I really do hope that this level does hold similar to what we've seen, going back to even, again, October timeframes. I can kind of show you guys that real quick going off of those lows. So here you guys have, going off of these lows here, us kind of holding that 382 level, having that slight wick down, but ultimately we did have that strong bounce off of it to have that nice October move. So I'm watching that similar to what we have right now in terms of that 382 level to see if that's going to hold. Now, obviously, also the Dow Jones, had that nice little correction as well, similar to the S&P 500 and even similar to Bitcoin. Now, again, the difference here is, of course, the support and resistance zones on all of these, charts that I'm talking about. It's a clear sign to me that there's still a lot of support around that 382 on the Dow Jones. This has been a major support level. I know that we've broken down before, but we've had a nice impulse back up to really kind of save the day. This major support level goes back to January, goes back to December, goes back as far as October as well. I know that we have these slight wicks down below it, but we've always regrasped it pretty quick. Now, again, as soon as we have a nice breakout point here, it's where we do kind of reanalyze the fib levels, but this does look coiled up. It looks like the Dow's almost ready. It looks like the S&P 500 is almost ready. Now, all while I have been watching these charts, I've also been watching the US dollar because we are at these critical levels. We really need to see if this is going to either A, weaken, or B, break down strongly from the current level. If we are going to weaken, it's going to have a little bit more price appreciation left in it before we do weaken. But I am going to be watching for that 200-day EMA test at about 95.84 very, very soon. Even if we do test the 50-day EMA right now, it would be very strong for us. It's an over it's a 0.2 sort of retest. So I'm going to be watching that closely as we do kind of move from here on out. Altcoins have been looking pretty strong. I have been addressing XRP closely. I've been talking about XRP, Hbar, QNT, etc. Here you guys have XRP. It started to have that breakout event going back to October 11th. Sort of had that nice move up, retest. Again, finding support at around that 75-cent zone, which is the similar support zone before that nice little scam wick down. Again, not a concerning area. Even Hbar, right? Hbar had a very strong wick down. This was one that really kind of still almost held those lows. I mean, we've had that nice little wick slightly down. It wasn't too far down. It was still 18.5 cents. But, again, this one was one that really deep had that deep dip. But, again, volume came in, kind of pushed it back up. I'm watching this one closely to see if we have a strong recovery. If we would have a strong recovery, it would be that break above 22 cents to retest 25 cents to see if we could break out of the 200-day EMA. QNT also, I just kind of addressed QNT slightly in my QNT video from earlier today, where I was really kind of talking about this dipping down to my original target. Also, even Hbar dipped down to my 18.5 cent target. Similar to that one, QNT, deep dip down to my 105 target. Very crucial area to really kind of hold. Volume came in, kind of saved the day. On the monthly span, you could also kind of see how this is a little bit of a bearish candle, but still around that same target that the last candle kind of came down to test. It's still a higher low going back to January that these altcoins are making, so it's not too bearish of a move here. XLM, also very similar candles to, even XRP, where we do have that strong, so let me go to the Coinbase chart, where we do have that strong support being grasped on the 50-day EMA. A lot of these altcoins look very strong on the monthly candle. I don't know how Hbar looks on the monthly. I didn't really look at it. So again, on the monthly candle, this does look a little bit bearish just because it hasn't had that nice impulse back up. But we are still bouncing off of that bottom level where there is a lot of support going back as far as June of 2021. I would say, though, that this actually is probably one of the most bearish charts compared to all the other altcoins. On the weekly, again, you're kind of seeing those slight wicks down. I wouldn't be surprised if this does retest about 17 cents. because it's just looking a little bit weak here. In terms of the Hbar Bitcoin price chart, I haven't really checked it out too much, but I would assume, yeah, I would assume that this looks pretty bearish. So we need a lot more strength into Hbar for this to actually be, holding. But I would definitely say that as we are seeing, extreme fear being updated very, very soon, as we do see the market kind of bouncing back slightly, I would say that this would most likely move up slightly. Who knows where we currently are in this market in terms of the fear and greed index, but extreme fear, I'm not fearful. Are you guys fearful? In fact, I'm actually fairly bullish right now. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. But as always, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.